Bino? Am I the reason?
No, 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 Tony. No, you're not the reason.
Is it what we've put together here? I mean, really. Is it the relationship between the player and the fan and the program in the modern era? Is this going on everywhere? Or is this a here problem?
It's 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 a multitude of things, Tony. We've all thrown something in there, and they're all legitimate as to what's going on. Um, and I mean, Tony, I love sports talk media.
Yep. Yep.
I always have.
Yep.
I always have. I
Yep.
still do.
Yep.
But one thing that's never changed about it,
Mm-hmm.
or is going to change about society, is you open up the phones.
Yep.
There are going to be more people dissatisfied that call than people who are satisfied. Period. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you're talking about. I'm
Yes.
just throwing sports talk out there.
Yes. And I just, for the life of me, okay? And by the way, we're back on YouTube. If those of you that want to go catch a show back there, it's a long story, but I used, it is a long story. I used the plug that plugs in the computer over there to charge up my phone and didn't plug it back into the computer, and Laura didn't see it. And so the battery ran out. She doesn't know that, but I used it yesterday. I'm sorry. She's looking. I didn't plug it back in. Yeah. Did I say you didn't plug it back in? I'm sorry. I didn't plug it back in. So she didn't. No, I said she didn't see it, Bino. I blamed it on her. You like it? Pretty low rent dude right there. With a real sweetheart.
Couple of days past Valentine's Day.
Yeah, a couple days past. I came on the air this morning / earlier today. And it's just been gnawing at me all weekend. Are we doing too much post game? You know?
You get a cumulative effect too, Tony. You're at the end of a long slog here of service.
February
Okay,
is
Joe.
when a lot of this stuff, coaches snapping in press conferences, fans doing the same thing after games on post game. It's going to happen in mid to late February every year.
Because it's the month from hell.
You just want to get to the finish line.
I'm
February.
100 years old and can't give up any time, but if next year's calendar doesn't have February on it, I'll be just satisfied as I can be.
Yeah, Bino says Bino's always told me down through the years February's the worst sports month on the calendar. I heard Rob Ellis on WIP in Philly yesterday say that. He said, the crazy thing about February is that all these sports have played enough that we're kind of bored with them, but those long regular seasons go on, and you've got pitchers and catchers reporting, and from their perspective, it's freezing cold here, and you get to see some warm sunshine in Clearwater, Florida, or wherever you live, right? You get to see some warm sunshine down there in Florida. And you think to yourself, hey, it won't be long. Marcos Garza told me the other day my Super Bowl is 2 weeks away. I said, what's that? He said, when the clock springs forward, because we get some daylight at night. I said, hey, praise God for that.
Hey, it's February seems to me like the end of a sports marathon. You're almost to the finish line,
Yeah.
but you ain't. It's the hardest part to get through. Once you do, March has become my favorite time on the sports calendar. When we get there, when baseball's cranking up and college basketball's at the big event. But you got to slog through February to get there.
865-200-5402. Bino, am I doing a radio gimmick right now, bringing up what I brought up?
No.
You know me.
No.
No.
No, I can hear it in your voice, Tony.
It aggravates me.
Bad enough.
Yeah, it aggravates me. Because if you can't enjoy, and this team's really hard to enjoy, I can't enjoy it. I'm speaking to myself here. I'm having trouble enjoying watching a basketball team that's going to win 22 games. Is that a reflection of me? Is that a reflection of me, or is that a reflection of them?
3 weeks ago when they beat Georgia in overtime, Laura comes down and says, I would have thought they'd lost. Listen to the postgame.
Yes. Yes,
So
Brian.
this has been going on for several weeks.
No, you're exactly right. Bino, is it this particular team? Is it the sport of college basketball? Is it us? Is it that we're so pissed off that we just can't get past somebody to really enjoy the sport? We feel like basketball's a cruel joke. What's going on? Then we go back to the phones.
I think it's all the above, Tony. But again, I do think that this team is more maddening than most of its predecessors in the Barnes era, because you just can't take a breath with them. You just can't relax. The entire game is basically on the line, even when you're up 17 points, because they cannot close.
Back to our phones we go. Yes, Saturday night was a slog, wasn't it? They played that zone defense. Hey, Matt McManamous came in there and stole a game. If he'd had a few more players, he could have stolen a game there.
He could have.
Hello and welcome in to our next call. You are on our Monday edition, and then we're going to talk about the playoffs as well.
Hey, Tony, Bino, Brian.
Hey, T. Welcome in, buddy.
Hey, Taylor.
Hey, Tony and Bino, I think, and Brian, I think you guys were spot on. I think the critical nature of Tennessee basketball fans has a lot to do with things that you said, right? It's a pickup game now. There's not the roster retention that we had in years past with the portal and with NIL. You hear players' names. You're trying to figure out who's on the roster. You don't get to see them as true freshmen. You don't get to see them grow up as sophomores and then maybe juniors. It's just, the game's changed, and we don't have that attachment and connection to most of the roster like we had in years past. I think that's the biggest reason. And then number two is the lack of postseason perceived success. Everybody's just looking with a negative eye of, what's the next shoe to drop? This is another reason why we're going to be an early exit in the postseason. I'm speaking of the negative fans. And then when you get gutted by Kentucky, when you've got a double-digit lead in the second half at home and away, and you just gag it up, that's enough to cause a lot of fans to be very red on this team. I kind of get that. But to your point, all in all, this is a very good basketball team. They're not great, but watching the development of Ament has been a lot of fun.
It is to me. He is such a great player. Now, the Gillespie guy drives me nuts. He just does. No offense to him. He's a great kid, I know. But he drives me crazy. This Ament guy, buddy, he's one of in my lifetime, he's one of the three most special players to put a Tennessee uniform on. I mean, that's amazing what this guy's doing night in and night out. Amazing. And
Agreed.
He's scoring like an easy 23, 24 points a night, Taylor. It's almost effortless how he does it. He gets the foul line so much. Now that he's in rhythm, he's making all of his shots. They have him initiating offense. He's such an interesting piece that they can do so much with. And he gives them a sneaky high side in March. He really gives this team a sneaky high side that Alex kept talking about on the post game the other night, but people were shouting Alex down. They wouldn't hear it. But he really does give them a sneaky high side.
He does, and he's low heart rate. He wants the ball. He's got the killer instinct.
Yep.
And the guy can make free throws. I mean, go figure. He's a stud. Make no mistake, Tony. Morgan Wallen's favorite player, who goes very underrated, is Bishop Boswell. That kid hustles his rear end off. That guy gives everything he's got and more. He's one of my favorite players just because of effort, heart, and desire. He doesn't have the skill set to be elite, but he's got an elite heart rate, man. I mean, heartbeat, and that guy just gets after it.
You're
Tony,
right on the money. Hey, how beautiful. Let's celebrate something. How beautiful was it to see baseball back? And you were there Friday night with that full stadium. How fun was the vibe in there on a midwinter Valentine's Eve evening? The spirit of love was in the air. Was that not just a beautiful? That was so good for my sports fan soul, man.
Tony, it was next level. It was outstanding. The missus, she actually let me do the trifecta. So we did Friday's game. We did the 1.5 games of the doubleheader. We left halfway through the doubleheader Saturday, which you didn't believe me. I told you. I called the shot there, Tony.
Yep.
And went and saw the LSU game.
Yep.
And then we went back for more on Sunday since there was no Tennessee baseball. We actually saw the Lady Vols Mafia. Full-throated, 13,000 at TBA. The Deacon was front court with Big Jim.
Let's go! You were at the Lady Vol game? Let's go!
Yeah, Tony, I'm sure I'm getting ripped on
the crowd in
right
there.
now.
Hey, the crowd in there was pump. Were they pump
they
or
were.
what, dude?
I was shocked. It was the missus' first ever Lady Vols game.
Yeah.
I think it was my third in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Shocked at how loud the crowd was. Queen Kimmy, I give her a little bit of an apology. That press conference post South Carolina and post UConn was brutal, but she coaches better, mad, no doubt. But I was shocked at the atmosphere at TBA. But Tony, going back real quick to the baseball, make no mistake, if Blaine Brown stays healthy, Tony, he'll break every offensive record at the University of Tennessee. That kid is special. That left-handed swing is a thing of beauty. That ball explodes off his bat. And I tell you what, something about Vitello and staff evaluating portal transfers. I mean, my gosh, 5-star Blaine Brown, 5-star Landon Mack, 5-star Henry Ford, 5-star Evan Blanco. It is impressive. This team is locked and loaded, Tony. They're going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you, my man. Love you. We got all season to celebrate that, too. 865-200-5402. Hey, Bryant Lady Vol team, I watched that whole game yesterday. I crashed in the third quarter, though. But that wasn't because of them. That was because of me. That Lady Vol team played so hard to not win that game Sunday. That's kind of a shame.
Yeah, you can't say they quit.
No.
Absolutely not. And the crowd was tremendous, and Texas just had a little bit too much inside, but at the end of the game, you got to get a shot off. You just have to get a shot off there.
It's crazy looking. I'm glad we didn't have a post-game show for that because that would not have been kind what they did. At
I
the
also
end of the
think
game.
Texas got a beneficial.
Brian,
they committed a foul.
Brian,
Tennessee should have had the ball down 1. With about 19 seconds
Brian,
left.
that call on the baseline, I talked about it in the blog today. They fouled out one of Tennessee's best players on a phantom reach. It wasn't even close. That's a worst piece of officiating I've ever seen in my life. In my life, there's been heartache and pain. I mean, are you kidding? Let's go back to the phones. So, that Lady Vol game yesterday was very good, though. Like I said, look, when they're playing like one of these kill games, like that Missouri game, I watch that for 5 minutes. I'm like, I ain't watching this. You know, to me, that sport, it's more interesting turning over a rock and looking what entomology is in my backyard. Not even know what the bugs are, but it's more interesting watching that than watching the Lady Vols or anybody like UConn in their league beat somebody by 80 points. And like me and Bino have said down through the years, more Bino than me, these women have no mercy on each other. Here's Kim Caldwell. You got Kelly Jolly, wore the uniform. Let's beat her by 80. I mean, let's just pound her face in. But Pat Summitt did her to her when she was over at Bry. Where was she? Like Appalachian State one year, they played him in the tournament and beat
I think it was Western Carolina or Chattanooga.
She beat her like 120
schools.
to 25 or something. I mean, just beat her into the submission, and they think nothing of it. So great. Let's go back to the phones. Get as many people in here as humanly possible. And then in the second hour, I want to get into where we are as a fan base in hoops. And because we feel so much like the Sixers fan base. Because what follows this is apathy. And Bino, is making an Elite Eight a payoff? Because we say we haven't gotten a payoff in the postseason, but man, winning you got to win 3 games to get the Elite Eight. That's a lot of postseason basketball. Getting 4 games out of it.
Oh, absolutely, Tony. I appreciate that greatly. Till the last 2 years, I'd only seen 1.
Is it a payoff, Bino?
Yeah, I think it is to me, Tony. Obviously, the Holy Grail is the Final Four, which we haven't made. But again, I would love to see Tennessee make a Final Four. I think Tennessee basketball program deserves to make a Final Four. I think the fan base deserves to see Tennessee make a Final Four. But I'm not going to feel like I've been absolutely robbed as a basketball fan if I never see one when I'm watching a team that makes it every year. That's more important to me, is consistently having a basketball program that's NCAA tournament worthy.
That's exactly right. Let's go to the phones to get our next call in. Hi, welcome in.
Hey, Tony, can you hear me?
Yeah, go right ahead. I sure can.
Love you. Love your show. I have for the last 25 to 30 years. I don't call very often, but I will tell you that you are, any day that I don't have the Basilio Show and crew in my routine is not a full day, a complete day. So
thank you, my brother,
for what you do, and
thank you
for hanging in there through the good times and the bad.
Thank you.
I hope this is germane to the conversation because I'm going to be fully transparent about several things. One, I did not catch the call-in show, or the post-game show, so wasn't sure what happened there. I didn't hear the start of your show today, but I think where you're going, it's an interesting conversation because it reminds me of a conversation I had with a good friend of mine. I got a good buddy, longtime Vol fan like me, moved to Charlotte 25 years ago. So every time Tennessee football or basketball is on the television, he starts texting me, "Are you watching?" And we essentially watch the games together over text message, which sometimes can be very comical. But I was sharing with him this weekend as we watched the game, or the last game we watched together. And I'm also going to say a couple things, too, because I don't want to rip anybody. I work for a local nonprofit. I've gotten to know Rick Barnes. I've gotten to see some of the things that he does for people in this community that nobody will ever know about, people in need. That man is a great human being. He's spoken at my church several times. I love Rick Barnes. I love Rick Barnes, the human being. Does he drive me nuts as a basketball coach sometimes? Yeah, but I drive my wife nuts sometimes, and she still loves me. But he's a great man. I hope he stays here as long as he wants to stay. And I will tell you, I think I heard you ask earlier, is Rick Barnes the problem? I don't see any problem whatsoever with Rick Barnes. Do I wish he'd win more postseason games? Absolutely. But when I'm watching these games and getting frustrated, it's not Rick Barnes that is frustrating me. And then I have to sit back and think, we've gotten a little spoiled. I started thinking the other day, I want to like this team, but I'm struggling to find anything to like about this team. Yeah, I like watching Ament come along and progress, but what drives me insane is the lack of basketball IQ, it seems, especially for many times. Again, I'm sure these are all great kids. I love these kids. I'm not personally attacking any of them. But your point guard has to have basketball IQ if you're going to be successful. And sometimes it seems he goes off the reservation. I mean, you wonder what he's thinking. Or a guy gets a rebound late in the game and you got a chance to run some clock and he immediately throws a shot back up. It's just little things like that to me. Basketball IQ is what comes to my mind. I don't see any of it. Okay, help me out, guys. I want to like you. But then I think back, we've had Grant Williams, Admiral Schofield, even going further back, Ron Slay. To borrow Florida's term, I don't know if we got anybody with that dog in them. ZZ had it. Meshack had it. Those things were over and above the play on the court that made me like those people. That made me want to root for those people. And again, I know all these kids on the team are good kids. I've never heard a bad word about any of them, character-wise. I'm searching for things to like, and it's not an enjoyable watch. That's what I was telling my buddy,
I think that's a really interesting point from where you started to where you finished. I love Rick Barnes. He does a lot of great things for a lot of people. It's where you started. And then you said, but this year's edition, man, I feel like that.
That's exactly what it is. It's this year's basketball team. We've been spoiled, man. And I told my buddy,
I feel like
ZZ
that.
and Meshack walked off that campus,
it's bad.
It felt like the heart and soul of this team walked off the campus.
I so feel like that. I hate that these guys are going to win 22 or 23 games, man.
Exactly, and I feel guilty. I'm like, I should be happy. I looked at the record the other night, and I'm like, man, we're going to win 20-some games, and I'm unsatisfied.
Bino, isn't that, and thank you so much, man, for the call. That encapsulates it all, because it's really confusing. It's really confusing to feel that way. And the post-game show the other night did not connote. It was everything that didn't happen in the game. And I started thinking to myself, you know what? This post-game thing's jumped the shark. I'm bringing it up on Monday. And I said to Laura, I'm going to bring it. She said, don't do that. I said, no, I have to do it. Because it's how we do what we do. It's what separates what we do from what most people are doing. Because you got to have some onions to go before your listeners and a fan base and say, hey, am I missing the boat here? Are we missing the boat? Or is the boat missing us? And I don't know what's what with this basketball team more after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run.
It's the hottest postgame show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Newsflash, Basilio listeners, the spring real estate market just moved up. Yes, it's chilly outside and you're still in your puffy coat, but if you need to sell your East Tennessee property, you could be the hottest house on the block. Hi there. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. February is the sweetheart month of real estate, and savvy sellers know exactly what that means. Get ahead of the game and give me a call at 865-694-5904 or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols!
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Chilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B. So Commissioner Bockwinkel has spoken. We'll open the hour here, and then I want to get into this, get into this basketball team this year and why they're just, I don't know. They make me feel like a spoiled, rotten brat is what they've done. But Dave has been suspended for a week. I was going to read the statement, but I'm not. It's Monday to Monday, so he's out. He's not allowed back till Monday. That's on YouTube and also on Calling the Show. So no nega Dave for a week. And I think it's a good decision. I think Dave needs a cooling off period. In the meantime, for the rest of us, we've got a team that's going to win 22 or 23 games. And I said this earlier, listening to the post-game show. I'm not sure I like them. And I don't know, is that what the post-game show, is that why the post-game show's like that? Because people just feel like I do? The gentleman before me just articulated it perfectly, and thank you, sir. The gentleman that called in before our timeout articulated it in such a perfect fashion. I love Rick Barnes. I'm so incredibly thankful that he's here. Me and Mark Griffin have talked about that. So incredibly thankful he's here. He does so many great things for so many people. He's a great guy of faith. He's a really great story, where he was in his life and where he's ended up now. And he's got a heart for people. God, his basketball team this year is hard to watch. And he does things that drive me nuts. After 10 years, he drives me crazy, which is another thing that guy said. Bino, that was a perfect encapsulation of where we are.
Yeah, I agree, Tony. He just painted a perfect picture.
Because I don't dislike this team, but there's something about this team that keeps me from embracing them. And Big Dog in Tennessee said it. Watch this team go to the Final Four. Watch this be the one. You know why, Bino? Because they remind... go, say what you just said, because you're right about this. About the team they remind you of.
Well, Tony, what I tried to do was differentiate between hard to watch and hard to like. I like this group of kids. You got Jacoby Gillespie, who's always wanted to play here, who had to take a roundabout route to get here. Not his fault, but he's always wanted to play here. I'm glad he got that opportunity. And I'd hate to think where this team would be without him. But there's always a segment of the game where he does two or three things that just drive me nuts. He's hard to watch. He's hard to watch nut-cutting time in the game. So far, that's been love, amen. How could you not like that young man who's, with all the accolades that he's got, is still very, very grounded, and is coming on and becoming that late game player that this team needs. This team rebounds the heck out of the basketball, which you said, which is the hardest work you're going to do on a basketball court, is defending and rebounding. And this team rebounds like no other. So it's not that I dislike this team. It's that they drive me crazy watching them for a large portion of seemingly every game, because they always have a stretch where it looks like bitty ball rather than major college basketball. And maybe that's more common throughout the game.
And Bino compared him to Conzo's. Bino compared him to Conzo's final
this
team.
This is a lot like you're exact. This is a whole lot like Conzo's last team, which they were impossible for me to watch, and quite frankly, I didn't like them very much.
No.
And I've always said, if we ever make it to a Final Four, it'll be a team that I have no expectations of making it, and I have no expectations of this team making a Final Four.
The 2010 team, James Daniels reminded me of the time we did a program dedicated to just blasting poor J.P. Prince. Not one of my finest moments, Bino, but that team really got on my nerves in a real and profound way. This team here, like Brian said, I think they ought to go get In-N-Out Burger to sponsor them, because that's who they are. They go in and out and in and out and in, and you can just watch them. They just sort of go.
Yeah.
And I mean, they will fall asleep. Like Saturday night, Brian, they fell asleep for a good 4 minutes there on Saturday. It was, here's the other thing. And I do think we're all guilty of this, because college basketball as a sport, they've turned themselves into a tournament sport, which means you're going to watch a moderate amount during the regular season, but all these teams are in the tournament. So what's the point? There is that, right? Most of the teams we're watching night in and night out are playing in that tournament at the end of the year. I just can't believe like a guy like Steve Forbes can't get to the freaking tournament. No offense to him, but that just shocks me. Because everybody's in the tournament. That's a shame. That's weird, isn't it, Bino? That he just wasn't able, because he had a Sweet 16 caliber team at ETSU that COVID knocked them out. They were going to go to the Sweet 16, the Bucks were that year. They really were.
Yeah, really, really like Coach Forbes, too. I
love him.
I hate it for him that it hasn't worked for him at Wake. I'm like you. I thought he would go there and be a perennial tournament team at Wake.
Back to the phones we go. 865-200-5402. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, Zach in E-Town via Johnson City.
One of the few positive callers the other night.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for saying that, because I was positive. I complimented JP on a heck of a night. He saved our bacon, as we pronounce it in France. He saved our bacon, our bacon. And I think he deserved to be credited for that.
It's a shame. It's a shame Estrella got hurt as much as he did, and his body's all beat up, because they believed he has the innate ability to be an NBA basketball player, but his body just hasn't cooperated. Somebody brought a great point up the other night. He hasn't even really played enough through his time here for us to even consider him like a returning player. Somebody brought that up the other night on the postgame show. That might have been you. And that is such a great, great point about him. It's like he's like a new player almost.
Yeah, it feels like it's his first year.
Yes.
And it's really technically it's his third, I believe.
Yeah.
Look, so I'm not going to rehash, but the last two teams were filled with 2 4-year guys that were absolutely all-timers, fan favorites.
Yep.
We'll never have to buy a drink or a dinner in Knoxville. And to supplement those teams, we've had the rotating star to come in, whether it's Cadet, Lanier, whoever. The 22-23 team, it was kind of a transitional year, but we still had a Sweet 16. This team has been strange to watch. It's been a lot of the blown leads. I think are making some of us be negative. I hate the stupid accusations of like point shave, because that's really that's just not cool.
That's the kind of stuff that gets you suspended.
That's I agree with the suspension.
I'm not into thought police, thought control, but the problem with that stuff is because he says he called the other night. I couldn't believe it. But he said this guy's got a weird line. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
you know what's
I heard that.
You know what's happened in the last 6 weeks? You can see it happening. This is no longer his basketball team. This is Nate Ament's basketball team. You know what has to happen for them to go very, very far in March? This has to be Nate Ament's basketball team. In fact, I've been saying it for 2 months now. They need to give him the basketball and let him initiate offense. Let him play some point. I am not kidding. Zach, are you kidding when you say that? You've said it too. Are we kidding when we say that?
No, there's no reason not to get him the ball, like especially the other night when they went to the zone. And I thought, man, the zone kind of messed us up, and I thought we need to get Nate in the middle and let him either go maybe left or right and back cut with some of our guys and see what happens. I also there was one other thing I wanted to mention. I forgot, but Boswell. I mean, the hustle that these guys
they play so hard. The late great Pat Summitt said, and I quote, "Rebounding is all effort. Anybody can rebound the basketball. It's about getting your body in position, and it's about getting dirty and getting the ball." This team does a lot of that. Unfortunately, while they're doing that, they also do some of the dumbest, stupidest things I've ever seen in my life on a nightly basis, unfortunately.
Well, just something else I heard that the Mr. Berg came in and kind of had an unexpected little run, 8-point game the other night, and it's because Barnes put him in. Supposedly, his mom had flown all the way across the ocean to be at the game, and so Barnes played Berg, which is kind of just a great human being.
That's a sweet thing.
Right, and that's a very and he kind of met the moment.
Yep.
But yeah, I just like Zakai Ziegler is the only athlete I've ever paid to get their autograph. So it's tough to replace guys like that. And but I love this team. And Tony, what I wanted to say was I love the post game. My son, we listen to the post game. It gets us home. I mean, it's like therapy.
Yeah, I need to hear
and
that.
Bino, and I'm sorry for talking over you, but and Bino was right. Like, if you have a comments box at your business, nobody's going to leave the comment that says, "Oh, I had a great shopping trip," or what a great salesman. It's going to be, "This guy was a jerk, and I had to wait too long." So a lot of us that call in to the post game are reactionary, and that's why sometimes they sound like they do. But please don't stop doing them, because I mean, for me as a converted football to basketball guy, I live for those basketball games and those post games.
Nice
it's just excellent, and sometimes it evolves into great comedy. And you do such a great job.
Thank you. It's nice of you. Listen, Alex did a wonderful job the other night. The juice was there. He was pumped. I just sit here and I'm just so bummed out at the tone and tenor of that, because the post-game show's supposed to be a celebration. After calls, when you can't celebrate a win, I started today's show 90 minutes ago saying, what's the point? If I'm doing a basketball postgame show after a win and I go upstairs and my wife says, "Did we win the game?" And I told on myself, Brian's right. This is a several-week thing in the process here. Because I'm sitting there Saturday night listening to the show, very proud of the job Alex is doing, and going, what are we doing? What is this for? I mean, we win a game and everybody's pissed. And I remember the call that a guy called earlier from West Tennessee, and he said, "Hey, I remember when we would lose to Western Carolina, and there was 1,000 people in the stands, and the arena looked like an airport hangar." He's right. He's right. He's correct. And I wonder sometimes if we're all just too connected. But we've had a lot of interesting thoughts today. The transient nature of the sport now. The fact that we're not growing our own, but you're going grocery shopping. The fact that while Gillespie is a guy that gave Tennessee a hometown discount to come here, as Bino said, he's just kind of a maddening player. I don't know. I don't know. I do think that this is an interesting young team. I do know for a fact that they're involved with some real difference makers right now in terms of guys that they're involved with for next season to complement and add to what they have. I do think they've got wonderful acumen in the portal. I wish we could transfer that to football, their acumen in the portal. Obviously, it's less players. I do believe Tennessee baseball, the infrastructure that Tony's left there, they have incredible acumen as well for looking at the next crop. But boy, this is a tough group to identify with. I don't know. And it's made it spill out into me coming out today and saying, you know what? I don't know if doing a post-game show after every game is necessary anymore. I don't know. That's the conclusion I've come to. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm not. You think, some of you think, oh, he's just doing this for effect. He wants everybody calling kiss his rear. No, I don't. Bino, you've known me for a long time. Is that what I was doing today?
No, Tony. You're just expressing your and a lot of other people's frustrations with this basketball team and with the post-game show itself.
Robert Cooper says negativity is contagious. Dave should never be allowed to call near the top of the program. Dave's getting a lot of hate like he's done this, Bino. You think Dave's done this?
No, Dave hasn't done this. Dave went out of bounds and is going to pay the price for that. But no, this is about a lot more than Dave.
Yeah, I think that's a very simple explanation for something a little more complex. I think the fact that the sport's extremely transient. I think the fact that we're in a tweener year. I think the fact that even though Estrella is a multi-year player in the program, even he's a new player. I think the fact that one of your returning guys, one of your frontline players in Okpara, hasn't taken another step. I love Rick Barnes. That's such a great sidebar. That Berg's mother traveled all this distance to come see him play, and he put him in the game here tonight. Because you know what he knew? He can function in this game. It doesn't mean that he's going to get more playing time moving forward like some people think. I love y'all, and I'm for you, not against you. And I love you, and I love your show. But I'm always going to keep it 100 with you, and he ain't going to play real minutes against real teams. But against that LSU bunch, stick him out there and let him go. Mom's here. She's come all this way to see you play. We're going to honor that. I think that's great. And still win the game. Why? Because their roster, in a word, let me think of an adjective. Oh, it blows. Yeah, they blow. Really nice gesture on his part. Really nice gesture on his part. So, people are saying, you guys, the Gestapo got Dave. No, and I had a nice talk with the commissioner. Dave got Dave. Dave got Dave, and I like Dave. I want Dave to be a part of this. can't call in and say things like what he said about that kid. You just can't do it, and it go unchecked. And if it continues to happen, then you're not going to be on the air. I mean, it's pretty simple. And I in fact, I love Dave's passion, but it's misplaced. And he needs to be coached up, and I'm going to coach him up. Go to the phones. 865-200-5402. We've had some interesting discussion here as we get ready to go back to our program. Hi, you're on the air. Or our phones, rather. Hi, you're on the air.
Am I on?
You are on.
Hey, Tyler's boy Billy from Harriman. What's up, Bean Comment?
Hey, Billy.
What's up, boy Billy?
Hey, Tyler, I mean, I tuned in the first time in a couple days, man. Sun's out. I'm over here, shirts off, guns out. But you sound down today, man. Sound
yeah,
like
I'm bumming.
with some seasonal depression on top of it, bro.
I'm bumming out, man.
You bottoming out, bro.
I'm bumming out. I'm not bottoming out. I'm just kind of bummed out.
Hey, it ain't like that shit on a Sunday when you was going off on those Kentucky fans, but it's, you know, ain't that far off. You could use a little vacation down in the Caribbean, bro. You've been working, going at it since like September every day, you know?
Well, that's why I will take my guitar this afternoon and go walk in the park and disappear for 2.5 hours at a time and just close my eyes and just walk around and decompress and purposefully breathe and relax and all that stuff. And then meet and greet my friends that I see out there. It's nice.
Well, I hear you, man. I'm just saying you might need to level up. You might need to go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? The Caribbean might be calling your name. All right, but this is just to you and all Tennessee fans out there, man. You know, tying up your entire self-worth and identity in the local sports team success maybe ain't the best move. That's something I had to learn myself from my mental health therapist, Miss Pickleson, provided to me by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I do think there's a part of that. I also think, though, that you can get a release. Like if you get angry with your team sometimes, anger it's a good thing to get out of your system, too. So you do release energy if you go that route.
I mean, I hear you, man, but if you look at the stats, I mean, there's you know, in big cities where big teams lose big games, there's a spike in domestic abuse as soon as teams lose big games and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
People
down in the state of Alabama, there have been murders. I mean, those people down there are missing a few, if you know what I mean. Like the Vader doesn't go to the top floor. 5 bricks short of 10, I guess, is the old saying.
You are crapping on them, man, kicking down, ain't it?
Those people? Oh yeah, listen. Those are literally some of the dumbest people I've ever been around in my life, and listen, boy Billy, I attract a lot of winners, if you know what I mean. And those people take the cake. When we were down there in that Winfrey Hotel doing the SEC Media Days deal, you would see some of those people, and you would look at them, and you'd say, boy, I hope you didn't drive here today, because that means you have a license, and you're on the roadways. Because some of those people, I mean, when Nick Saban would walk through there, and literally they would fall on the ground like they were like you were back in biblical times, and there's Christ over there, and I want to touch his garment. I mean, that was some scare, and I am not kidding you. The way those people reacted to Nick Saban, it means a little too much to some of those people. No offense to them.
Hey, man, I know what you're saying, man. I'm just saying, bro, everybody out there, it's a good day. We had all this winter. Try to get outside, get a few steps
Thank you.
in, you know what I'm saying?
You're my man. Is it warm today?
Man, it ain't bad. I mean, sunshine. It's better than it was 2 weeks ago, you know what I'm saying?
Sunshine on my shoulder. Can you sing me a bar of that? Makes me happy.
That ain't my style, bro. I'll write you something, but I can't sing nothing.
All right, love you. Thank you.
Hey, love you. Love your show.
Thank you, babe. He wanted to call and just pick us up today. 865-200-5402. Everybody was sniping each other over the weekend, Bino. We even had an incident in curling, an international incident. Did you see that, Bino? Canada and Sweden, the guy looked at that guy and said, F you! The guy said, you're cheating. You double-touched it. And sure enough, on the replay, Bry, he cheated. Did you see him, Bry? They double touched it.
I must have missed
No,
that,
I didn't.
Tony.
I did not.
Must have been the one segment of curling I wasn't watching this weekend.
You guys have no idea what I'm talking about?
No, Tony, I do not.
That's horrendous. Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexio Kristen.
Hey Tony, good to see ya. Connexio builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the #1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexio.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexio, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest. Finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. Don't tell me what's going on in the Olympics. I wait till tonight and watch it with Laura. We've been jamming out to it. It's a beautiful thing. I watched the figure skating. That poor kid that fell down the other night. And I hate how your whole life is encapsulated in a 90-second program, all your training. That's hard to watch, Bino. You don't even have to, care about the sport itself to know that all the work that goes into it for those athletes, and it's all compressed into a 2.5-minute program. Imagine the pressure on you. Imagine that, man.
Yeah, it's brutal, Tony. It's,
brutal. Yep. I think JMT 2575 speaks for all of us when he says the transfer portal has ruined curling for him. There's something to be said for that. That transfer portal has really screwed up the world of curling. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Good to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you, my man. I evoked your name in the first hour.
I've been sitting here watching the USA women's hockey team.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't need to know. Don't tell. I got to be surprised. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil me.
I'm not going to say a thing.
I'm sure they're womping up on somebody because those gals right there, again, women's sports, do they have any mercy on each other? Or is there any mercy rules in women when women get together? Some of my best favorite fights in high school involve girls. Because they would take each other and slam each other against lockers, man.
Hey, they had an incident where one of the women went around behind the goal and slammed into their goalie.
Yes.
And they both hit the floor. And then another girl jumped in there for Sweden's team, and she got put in the penalty box too.
Cool.
Because she retaliated with a knocked the girl down.
Let's go. The great Mike Fidanza's in the room, and he said if there was an Olympic sport for picking mushrooms, we would have won the gold, Bino, back in the day. That's what I'm good at, picking mushrooms.
But I was going to tell you, I was watching it and listening to you.
Well, that's good. Thank you, brother.
I wanted to say a few things. I want to echo a couple of callers ago.
Yep.
That Mr. Barnes needs to stay as long as he wants to stay. I agree with him wholeheartedly. Because you look at a guy inside, gentlemen and ladies, what kind of guy do you have coaching your men or women? When you got Dick Vitale making national comments about Barnes and what he's done to encourage him, and what the other caller said about him helping out people you'll never hear about. That's the kind of guy we want. And I'm thinking back a few weeks ago when Coach Barnes at a post-game conference made a comment that's kind of stayed with me ever since. And this is where we need to lay off of him. He said, I've got players doing things I never thought I'd ever see. I don't know why they're doing it.
Barnesy said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the first to. And who was it the other day? It was Bino. Bino said a head coach should never, even joking around, say the thing about, are these guys gambling on games? Like, you should never, ever, ever, which is what Dave's serving a suspension for, incidentally, if folks don't know. A coach, and I know Barnes has this glib kind of way about him, but even he stopped himself after he said it and said, I really shouldn't say that. This team, though, is that maddening. They do things that just kind of defy logic. They're going to be a 22 or 23 win basketball team, Greg, that's going to drive me crazy.
You and me both. And you know, since he made that comment, I thought back that day I saw the comment, and I thought, well, he's right. Then I've watched it closer ever since. And that drive me freaking crazy. If I had players that were doing, I mean, as much as you're paying them now, and as good as they're, you know, everybody said they were, that would drive me crazy too, trying to wondering, you know, what in the heck is going on. But I was just sitting around the house watching this and listening to you take a few things. I had a week last week. I had 9 ball games.
Wow, good for you, man.
That includes men and women's basketball. 4
good
of those.
For you.
And softball, which good to see that back on the field, and baseball as well. And softball team's kind of having a rough start. Baseball team, they swept Dyersburg this last week to go 3-0 in the region conference rankings right off the bat, so that's good. But I know all that stuff's going to change. And, you know, Tennessee, it might be, you know, they all, as I've said during broadcasting, you don't worry about an overall record. You just try to win enough games, and then you worry about the postseason.
Yep.
That's what everybody's playing for,
yep.
The postseason. And I'm like another caller said, it's according to what kind of draws they get.
Yes.
But that's going to be just what happens to us, guys and gals. We're going to get a great draw for every bracket game, and we're going to make it to the Final Four. Mark my words.
Go! Appreciate you. Thank you. The men and the women. Double Final Four, Bri. You buying, selling, or trading that, Bri? on its face. A double Final Four this year.
Unfortunately, I think both teams have a Sweet 16 ceiling.
Who has a better chance, Brian, breaking through? Who has a better chance?
I'll say it's very close. I'll say, given Barnes' experience, I'll go with the men.
I want to shout out my man Alan Ward over at WeShipFloors.com, which is a great product. You ought to check them out. That Supercore floor, we're getting ready to have a need for that. And Alan, there's nobody else I'm purchasing it from but you, my man, no doubt. And here's the thing about Alan's product is you're going to start hearing in the coming days, weeks, and months that he's going to be in some locales here locally and around the state where you're going to be able to get your hands on his product. But you can also go to his website and they will ship you. They've got like a room. What do you call that thing? Like you can view. It's like a virtual. It's all way above my head. I can't even describe it. I'm just going from memory here. But I want to shout Alan out because he's just got a great spirit about him, and he's a good dude. So I think this team is going to drive me crazy. They've really got me thinking about giving up the post-game show. Bino, am I doing that for effect? Just so anybody just listening, am I doing that for effect right now?
No, Tony.
No. I'm listening Saturday night, and I didn't even tell Bino this. I didn't tell Brian this. I didn't tell anybody this. I told Laura this. She said, you can't say that on the air. I said, why? She said, that's just don't say that. And she knew I was going to say it. She just kind of looked at me today like, okay, you're going to do you. I'm listening Saturday night, and I'm going, a guy from West Tennessee called in, and he's right. And whoever you are, sir, I love you. I love all my callers. I love everybody. I love our fan base. I love Negative. I love the cattle call, to some extent. This team is hard to they're just hard. Like some of those old love songs. Just you and me, simple and free. Those kinds of... You don't get those vibes with this team. This team... and these post-game shows... here's the thing. James Daniel IV is right. A Sweet 16 ceiling for a team that beat a 1 seed on a neutral floor is silly. He's right. The truth about this team, and Alex said this Saturday, and Alex is dead right. This team could get beat in the first round if they're a 5 seed. If they get across from the right 12, they could get beat in the first round. Would not surprise me. Now, they're going to bludgeon most mid-major teams on the boards. This team could also streak and be the first one to go to a Final Four in school history. How's that happen? Alex is right. You give the ball to Ament, he develops into the star. He starts smelling money at the end of the year, and his draft stock rises. And he takes the team and takes the wheel of his automobile, and he swings on down to Ideal. And he gets absolutely crunk in the tournament. And 2 guys come with him. All you need are 2. You need him and 2 more. Gillespie's in a weird spot right now because he's lost his Jomo and his mojo. Isn't that interesting, Bino? As Ament's taken on more, he's kind of lost his mojo here a little bit. It's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think there has been some role adjustment there, Tony. So, natural role adjustment. I would still hate to see this team without Gillespie, because I think he's a vital.
Oh, I totally agree.
He's a vital part.
No, he's got to be a huge part of
do.
that. He's got to be a huge part of that. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting, Tony. I was watching. I had an opportunity to watch Miami of Ohio for the first time.
Yep.
And one game's certainly not enough to judge a team, and they didn't shoot it. I understand the way that they usually shoot it, but they're going to be a really dangerous 11 or 12. But when I watched them going into it, I thought, man, I don't want them at all in the bracket. But watching them, I think our size would be a huge issue for them.
And that's the nature of the deal. Tennessee's going to out-rebound anybody they get in front of. They're going to bludgeon anybody. Go ahead, Bri.
What game was Gillespie in foul trouble? They actually had worked to try to be able to see what they could do without him in practice, and it worked, and they won the game when he had 4 fouls late.
Yeah.
Was that Ole Miss?
Ole Miss game, yep. Did you guys see that Stephen Pearl's team has slid down the charts?
He benched one of their best players for not having standards or something.
I love him. I think that's absolutely accurate. I love stuff like that. We're either going to play or we're not. And
it was Keyshawn Hall, I believe, the Hall
I'm not going to sit over
kid.
here, and he's a great player. I'm not going to sit over here and watch you not do something on the floor you know you should be doing. I'm 100% for that. I wish more guys were like that, more coaches. This head coach here is. Because people call in, they talk about, well, the guy at Baylor. Hey, listen, the guy at Baylor was never going to play here. The guy at Baylor is on a losing basketball team. Jerome Tang recruited all those players, and he's an instant breakfast drink now. Because if you take Jerome, a teaspoon of him, and you add water, after last week, it tastes like arsenic, whatever that tastes like. But I'm sure it ain't. I'm sure it's got a bitter taste to it, or bitter apple. Bino, have you ever tried the bitter apple stuff that you give a dog? Or you put on your furniture to keep a dog from chewing on it? Because I love bitter things, but bitter apple's nasty. I tried that one time.
No, I've never tried that, Tony. I've never tried anything that I was supposed to give to.
Oh, I've eaten a dog treat. You've never eaten a dog treat? Not one time?
No, I've never eaten a dog treat.
I mean, the fun and frivolity here continues. The playbook with William Patterson's on the way next. Part of the Fan Run Radio family, ladies and gentlemen. We love you. We support you. Take it away, William.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Pretty next level as we're now in our extra time, overtime, your time, my time, our time. I wanted to get into this playoff, but I'm going to hold it. Because we have a topic here, and the topic is, I started 2 hours ago, and I just said, hey, I listed a post-game show. It's funny taking it as a consumer and as a host. As a host, you don't really have a chance to listen to it. And as a consumer, you have a chance to listen to it. And as a consumer, I was thinking to myself, what in the hell have we wrought here, created here? What are we doing here when we just won a basketball game on Valentine's night and it's so damn negative? And boy, is it negative. But then a bunch of people call me, a bunch of people say to me, you know, at the end of the day, I kind of get where people are coming from. And you don't need to shut the show down, by the way. That's sort of my takeaway. Is that fair so far, Bino, what we've gotten here?
Yes.
Like this is a team that's elicited that.
There's natural frustration to that. And the fact that you have to have a post-game show immediately after the game when there's little to no cooling off period, people aren't going to have any filter. And I guess that's what makes them so fun, and also what makes them at times, for me, hard to listen to.
So I was talking with one of my basketball contacts the other day, and we were talking about these guys are already getting in line for these jobs, and people are really interested in what's going to happen with Tennessee. And I'll have a lot more to say about that in the next couple of weeks, but let me just tell you this. This Tennessee job in the industry is considered a top 10 job. There are a couple of kind of openings that are getting ready to pay a lot of money, and there are a couple of coaches that are watching to see what happens here. Bruce Pearl and then Rick Barnes, they've turned the Tennessee basketball job into a monster. And it is a highly coveted job. And one of the guys I talked to said that, he called the job a monster. And said one of the reasons it's a monster is that they've never been to a Final Four. It makes the job more attractive. The money that you have to play with here, the high attendance figures, makes it easy to recruit to. You play in front of NBA crowds every night. And then some. 22,000 people, packed to the gills most nights. The crowd that showed up in the 6-inch snowfall day is emblematic of that. It's just another feather in the cap of that. This is, and I was told, easily one of the top 10 jobs in college basketball. Now, it doesn't really make much sense when you think about the history of the program, but it does make sense when you put it in the modern parlance, and there is a real watching and waiting what's going to happen here when Barnes does go off the stage. Does he go off the stage at the end of this year? Does he go off the stage at the end of next year? If he goes off the stage at the end of next year, there's a couple guys that are willing to kind of sit around and watch and wait here. I'm not going to get into their names. It's extremely interesting, though, to think about the chess and checkers, and really the chess pieces moving behind the scenes. And that's another thing that's happened here. We are all holding this team accountable for expectations of past seasons, and it's not fair to this basketball team. It's not fair. When you look at the rebounding numbers of this team, they should be liked and loved because they play really hard. And I feel badly myself that I can't enjoy them. But I can only say it into this microphone, and I am a damn honest person, if nothing else. Way too honest. Like I've told you before, if I played the hits, a lot more people would know my name. I could get on, with Screaming A. Smith and scream. I can't do fake stuff. It's not in me. Or play pop music and pretend everything's beautiful and wonderful and blow smoke up people's ass. I can't do that either. To thine own self be true. I will tell you this, though. This team's going to win 22 or 23 games. They're really hard to watch. And I'm mad at myself for this being not a fun season. And for coming to the conclusion that maybe, one of the conclusions I came to over the weekend, maybe it's time to quit doing the post-game show. Bino, I hear this is one of the great jobs in college basketball, that there are coaches, really talented coaches out there, guys really making a name for themselves, who are monitoring closely what's going on here. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I can understand why, Tony. It's a program whose fan base and their administration invest in basketball. And it's a program that, although there's been a large amount of success, there's a lot of unplowed ground here too. You can do something here that no one's ever done. And there aren't many programs playing at the level Tennessee's been playing at for a number of years that's the case with. So I can see where it's a really plumb attractive job. The other thing I want to say quickly is I greatly appreciate what Rick Barnes has done here, but I do not want him to have a thing to do with the selection of our next basketball coach. I don't think that's a good thing, regardless of where you're talking about.
No, that's kind of a new thing, too, and that's a fear. The fear is that he'll do that
he should
thing.
have one drop of say in who the next basketball coach is.
That's a fear internally. That's a fear internally.
One other thing is the state's population has increased to the point where you can find players really – there's a lot of basketball players in close proximity, and I'm talking about neighboring states too, just like football. Because if you look at the NCAA tournament projection, 6 teams from the state are projected to make the field, which I think that might be a record. And only Texas is projected to have more.
I don't think that's a healthy thing, regardless of what basketball program you're at, Tony. I don't think basketball coaches are. I just don't think that they have all the information that they need to make that next selection, and that may be a plus to having Danny White here, because I can't see that happening under Danny White.
Do you remember when everyone was afraid or wanted Kim English to be Barnes' successor? Everyone thought he'd be a rising star.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going too well at Providence.
Hey, Brian Barnes thought that. That's why he put Kim English there. Barnes had a weird streak here with these coaches, though, because his coaching family tree has not been growing branches of recent. No fault of his own. I mean, he's, because he's had guys come out from under him who've done well, but his last little crop here, the guy at East Carolina's not done anything, Bermuda Schwartz.
He was a great assistant, too. I mean, great assistant coaches have gone and just not done it on their own.
Kim English is at a spot where everybody's had success. Everybody. Didn't he replace Cooley High there, Bri?
Yeah, who's at Georgetown.
Yeah.
And you saw what the ugly incident that happened with them over the weekend.
No, I was too busy monitoring curling. Tell me about it.
Well, they were playing St. John's, and one of his players just knocked a guy down. He was going up for a layup and incited a brawl. And I think at least 6 players were thrown out of the game. And then it kind of happened again late, and it just was a black eye on the sport, what he allowed to happen, or what happened under his watch. I don't want to say allowed, but it got to a point where somebody opined that he ought to be fired immediately for what happened.
Can't do that to one of my brothers in alopecia, man.
Well, that wasn't. Cooley's got alopecia. Kim English doesn't have alopecia.
Yeah, you're talking about Cooley though, right? Cooley's team had the brawl.
No, it was Kim English's
Kim English.
team.
Oh, yeah, Kim English, man. He doesn't have a hair out of place. My boy Cooley, I love him because that's my alopecia, my brother in alopecia. His hair looks like he's got like it's like a continent, like an undiscovered continent on the back of his head. And he rocks that hair, Bino, just like that. What do you think of that, Bino? He just rocks.
I think he don't care. I'd say, Brian, that is the last straw for Kim. I'd say he's done.
And his team, just the performance of his teams are enough to get him fired.
Yeah. Sure, that's the That's the last thing he needed to happen.
So it's interesting.
Based on how his team
There are
performed.
people monitoring the Tennessee job, and there are people at Tennessee that are afraid that Rick Barnes, when he does call it quits, is going to wait till October and do the old switcheroo thing that these guys are doing now. That's a concern. I'm just voicing to you, just kind of how we talk, because I'm not afraid to say things and be what Tony Basilio said. Just, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying that there are people that have their eyes on this thing. Okay? Including one guy who had some real success in our area recently, who I think Danny White likes. I've said it on the air before. But he is a hot commodity right now.
I would have no problem. But of course, I'm not very objective when it comes to that name, but I would have zero issue if he were our next basketball coach.
And as James Daniel IV says, there's not a damn thing Danny White can do if a head coach waits till October and then says, I'm done.
No, but
it says I'm handing it to this guy.
What you can do is have a year of an interim.
That's right.
You don't have to name anybody.
That's right.
I just don't think head coaches are objective enough.
Nope.
Or their scope is wide enough to choose your next basketball coach. It's no longer their program when they walk away.
I don't think Barnes had any idea that, just to your point, that Kim English would fail like that, like he's failed.
And I don't know that that's Barnes' intention. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I don't want that to happen. There are a lot of coaches out there that are attempting to do that, and I don't want that to happen.
Bino, that guy at St. Louis, that Shirts guy, runs an awesome offense full of set plays, gets guys shots. I love him. He's kind of an offensive-minded guy. He's won everywhere he's been. He's funny. He's engaging. He would be a fun follow to Barnes if that were to happen.
I think he's perfect for this age too, Tony. He's been putting together teams on the fly at every stop that he's been at. And that's what you have to do today, is put together teams on the fly. And he's very good at it.
Very good. And the rail splitters, Bino, when we used to have him on, he was so fun when he was coaching the rail splitters.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact he holds his job in the highest of high esteem. My friends at VIP Play want to remind you, $20 bonus bet. You get $100 in bonus bets instantly. The promo code and the phrase that pays is TN Tony. You've got all kinds of college hoops tonight on a men's side and a women's side, but you got all kinds of stuff going on. I see where Auburn now is in a tailspin in men's ball. Maybe they ought to get some action over there on who Tennessee's next coach will be. But how would you count a future, an open-ended future? Barnes doesn't look to me like he's leaving anytime soon. But then again, could wake up in early October. I'm just telling you, that's a concern. My friends at VIP Play want to remind you they're live always. If golf's your thing, they got great, a really, really great platform for you to engage with that sport. The Olympics, 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, options, you name it, they've got it. VIP Play, where everyone gets treated like a VIP. And if you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the great state of Tennessee to place a bet. Brian, you have a great post up at tclub.team today regarding just the wackiness in the league in terms of teams winning with frequency in each other's building. Do we have a concern that Oklahoma could do that tomorrow night?
I think the fact they did it at Vanderbilt ought to have this team awake. And their struggle against LSU also should have this team awake. I think the way Oklahoma plays, I don't know that they'll play that junk defense LSU put out there with the zone. So I don't think I think offensively the Vols will have much more success or could have much more success against Oklahoma's defense. because I don't think Oklahoma has much of a defense, plays much defense.
865-200-5402. Yeah, Vanderbilt losing to that Oklahoma bunch makes no sense. You talk about odd results. Now, Vanderbilt losing to Georgia, okay, I can see that. I'll tell you what, Danny White's brother, Mike White, ran from that Florida job because he was getting ready to get himself asked a question. That's incredible. The job that Mike White has not done at Georgia, Bino.
And that's incredible. Why?
Because he just looks like I don't know, like he can't coach.
They gave up an 18-0 run against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And they got blown out. And they might miss the tournament. I think they're now projected to go to Dayton.
Yeah, they're in big trouble in Little China, and Auburn is fading fast, man.
Yeah, Tennessee handed them their first of 4 straight losses.
Yep.
They're in right now.
Yep. Tennessee put the sting on them that night. The stank eye.
They came in with 4 straight wins, and now they got 4 straight losses.
And Steven's never been through this. And people thought this was a fringe bubble team anyway. Look, I'm not knocking Bruce. I'm for him, not against him. You think, Bino, he would have handed his kid a Final Four team this year? Or you think he looked at that team and said, you know what? That's kind of like Barnes. I'm going to tell you something about Barnes. When Barnes wakes up one day and says, you know what, my team's not any good, he's not going to sit there and go through a rebuild. The guy in his 70s. He ain't doing the Jim Larinaga route down there at Miami. Barnes ain't going to do that. So
yeah, it's understandable.
It's absolutely understandable. But let's go back to the phones. Yeah, that's right. Somebody's reminding me. Was Mike White almost our coach in one hiring cycle? And where was he, Bri?
He was at Louisiana Tech, and he wanted, I guess, more buyout money. That's when they...
What a loser! No, that's not true.
He wanted more failure
Is
money.
that really true? What a white he is. Is that really true? Bino, do you remember that he wanted more failure money? I would look at one of those sumbitches and I'd say, no, wait a second here. We're talking about how much we're going to pay you when you don't get the job done before you get my job, you jackass. I'm going to count to 5 and you're going to get the hell out of my office. And I'm Mr. Haslam? Is that really what happened? No, Mike White is one that we hired Donnie Tyndall. Right, Bri?
Yeah, it was late because Konzo stepped away later than the cycle.
Yep.
When the cycle had pretty much been filled.
Yep.
And you had to sort of scramble, and Mike White was one of the first candidates that Dave Hart talked to. And then he eventually got to Tyndall.
Yep.
And Tyndall had to scrounge to put a roster. Had to really scramble to get a roster together.
And you know why Dave Hart was attracted to Mike White, because his father is Kevin White, who was a longtime AD colleague of his. And that's how it works, because Dave Hart's got a couple kids in the business. Mike White's got a couple kids in the Kevin White's got a couple kids in the business, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. So he went from that to hiring a guy that literally, Donnie Tyndall, is the farthest thing from one of those blue blood dudes, Bino, as possible, isn't it? So
Yes.
Next level.
Yeah.
Like I saw Danny's. The stadium's awesome, by the way, the baseball stadium. But they're partitioning people off now more than ever. Like the boxes they have up above, that's all Dan. That's such a Danny White thing. He loves that. You get a wristband. Because we had tickets in them. I didn't go up in them, but we had tickets in them the other night. And he's got, a wristband. But you get your wristband, and you're separated. You think Danny White's ever sat in the seats? You know he has, because down at Georgia, he was sitting in the seats. Bri, you think Danny White's ever sat in the cheaps for a sporting event?
Probably not the Chiefs, but I think he has sat in regular seating in the arena at home games. I guess he had to get up there to see that the fact that this new scoreboard had a partially blocked the view of the, I guess, from where you couldn't see the entire thing from certain points in the upper deck.
Oh, no, he didn't know. No. So they
So
did
he had
move
to
the
get that
scoreboard.
corrected.
They corrected it. That baseball stadium, get there if you can. It's absolutely, utterly gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. So well done. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
What's going on today, guys?
Hey, Rihanna, welcome in.
Guys, before we get to sports, I've got a really big story to tell you, Tony. You're going to enjoy it. Amanda and Ben are going to have a boy. I'm going to be a grandpappy.
God bless you, Mariano.
Congratulations, Mariano. Fantastic.
It's been a long time wait, but couldn't be more happier. We had a gender reveal. Here's the real kicker, Tony. We had a gender reveal Saturday up at Kingsport at Ben and Amanda's house, and so my daughter, my other twin, she's the party planner. I mean, the ultimate party planner. She's having the blue flowers and everything laid out and everything. So once Ben's parents sort of cleared out, of course their birthdays are in February, so we had a little birthday celebration, and she gave my wife a Valentine with an ultrasound picture in it. So I'm going to be a grandpappy twice. They're 7 weeks apart on having babies. So.
Oh, both of your kids?
Yes.
Wow.
I know.
That's awesome, Rihanna.
Yeah. So I'm not going to go to Sullivan County and drink any water or anything, Tony. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So we don't know the reveal. We don't know the gender on Emily's yet, but just really blessed, man.
God bless you, man.
Super happy.
That's awesome.
It is. It doesn't get any better. God is good all the time. But Tony, this team, basketball team, I mean, where would this team be if we had Ziegler? Undefeated in the conference?
What do you think? I haven't even thought about that, because Easy there for a second, for a hot minute, thought about getting his, getting whatever the term is, getting his next year or going for another year. What do you think, Beanstar? Where would they be with Ziegler?
Well, it without question, it would strengthen our guard situation quite a bit. It would take Jacoby off the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Which would I think I would have liked to have seen those two play together, because I always thought ZZ had to play too many minutes, and I think the same thing is happening with Gillespie.
If you had Gillespie and him paired together, you would go to the Final Four this year with that team. You'd be very hard to beat in the tournament.
Yeah.
With Ament locked in like he is.
I agree, Tony. I think if you look at and you're talking about too many minutes for Gillespie, and one of my son-in-laws is a huge basketball freak. My other son-in-law, not Ben, but
yeah, you don't have to say that.
We were watching the tournament back when they played Kansas and Houston, and who did we play in that first game? Rutgers, I believe.
Yes.
And we played 3 days in a row. And we jumped out there in the first half, and we're up on Kansas by 12 points. I mean, like usual, we always build the lead. And then they came out in the second half, and my son-in-law said, Gillespie's shot. He said every shot is short. His legs are gone from playing 3 days in a row and every minute of the game. And that's what I've seen, a lot, because he's playing too many minutes.
There's no question. And people don't realize that they're like, well, these guys are highly trained and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they are. But minutes in a game and minutes in a practice, the exertion, the amount of adrenaline going through you when you're playing in front of 20,000 people, the competition, the guys laying on you like they are, grabbing you and all that stuff. It's pretty taxing stuff, It
is.
And he's an interesting player because he's out of position playing point guard.
Yep. If you just had Ziegler at point and him at the off guard, that'd be something right there.
Or you know what? or if Boswell could just functionally play point guard, the
Yeah.
team would be better.
I agree. Tony, let's jump over to the football thing a minute with our quarterback.
Yeah.
If this doesn't happen and he's not allowed to play, do you think that Tennessee judge and that NCAA lawyer here, Tennessee fans, will be able to buy tickets anymore?
Interesting. Thank you, my man. I think it's going to happen, though. Look, and thank you, Rihanna, and congratulations to you. Congratulations, Ben, your entire family, all you, man. That you guys are just awesome, awesome people. I love you guys. That's awesome. I know people are covering that Friday and saying, well, the judge, look, Haggerty's got to make it look over TV. But they're still playing home games. It's an upset if he doesn't get cleared to move about the cabin. Now, will the NCAA appeal and will that be heard some point during the year? I have no idea, like we've talked about. From our position on this is just wait several weeks before giving a ruling. Because he wasn't going to hit the practice field anyway. In my perfect world, he rules like at the end of March and rules for Joey Aguilar playing. Because you're going to proceed anyway through spring ball like he's not there, which means that Merklinger, the true freshman, and the transfer quarterback from Colorado, all get reps. Obviously, the first two guys get most of them. But you're going to have a spring practice without him. And even if he's cleared, he's still not going to be out there in spring practice because he has to go through all his rehabilitation. So I think this is what it is. And I expected it. Look, I'm not a legal scholar by any stretch of the imagination, but I would be very surprised in light of the way these cases have gone, these home games, if Haggerty doesn't rule in his favor. People say, yeah, well, he asked some tough questions. Of course he did. He has to. He has to. If you follow the courts at all or stuff that happens in the Supreme Court, a lot of people go before a court and get absolutely roughed up and still win a case. And at the end of the day, what's going to carry the day is the latitude of that law in the state and the way it's written. It's written for cases just like this. If Pavia gets before the right judge in Nashville, he might get another year. So, and I say Joey Heisman, Bino. Joey football becomes Joey Heisman. Hang the banner.
Yeah, might as well jack him up a little more. Move it up a level.
Folks talking about Stephen Pearl. I've come to Bino's conclusion, which is I think the guy's grown up. And I'm not going to sit here and judge a guy for how he acted when he was 18. Because quite frankly, I was a complete dick, if I can say that, in mixed company when I was that age. And I would hate for that to follow me through life. Now, some of you would say, Tony, you were? and you would be accurate, by the way. I mean, as Robert Hazelwood is saying in here, can you imagine Basilio at that age? Bino, can you imagine me at that age?
I can imagine it, Tony. I can believe it.
Bino, when I told that story about getting the hell beat out of myself on the basketball court with my mouth by a guy twice my size, and my friend Ezio Torres hovering over me and saying, "Act hurt. He's going to kill you." Instead of jumping in and protecting me, he hovered over me. This guy hit me so hard, I saw yellow splotches in my vision. I'll never forget it. I came that close to going out, like yellow, like, and I hit my head on the blacktop. And we were playing on the asphalt, and Ezio came over and he said, "Stay down, act hurt. He's going to kill you." That's what real friends are for, Bean.
Did Kim English give him a scholarship after that?
Interesting. I got to get one more in, then we'll get some phone calls. TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting, because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved, and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
Fan Run Radio, where Big Orange Country comes to talk sports. Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed and Cody McClure from 8 to 11. Then it's Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. The Playbook with William Pattison from 1 to 3. And The Drive from 3 to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our Gold Bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Slow drains, gurgling, and bad odors may seem minor, but left unattended, they can turn into a plumbing emergency fast. Don't let a clogged drain become a disaster. Keep things moving smoothly with Pipe Wrench's $99 drain clearing, guaranteed to work, or it's free. Our certified plumbers arrive prepared with the tools and expertise to clear even the most stubborn clogged drains. And with our same-day service guarantee, you get fast relief without the inconvenience of waiting. Have more than just a clogged drain? We also offer free on-site estimates and free second opinions on repairs. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Schedule your $99 drain clearing online today at pipewrench.com. If we can't clear it, you don't pay. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. For residential main lines only, requires clean-out access. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Chilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair.
and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com. Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. Basilio here reminding you that when you want to sell your extra tickets to the game, you don't want to give your life away online with all your personal information just because you want to sell a few extra tickets. Clark Moore at Select Ticket Service will gladly buy your extra game tickets and your extra parking passes. And the best part? Clarky Boy pays cash. 865-919-1016. 865-919-1016. Clarky Boy pays cash at Select Ticket Service. Clarky Boy pays cash.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. Extra time, overtime, your time, my time, our time. So I just throw a spot break in there. You know why? Because it's our time. Because it's my time, and it's your time, and it's our time. It's a great thing. Let's go back to the phones, and we'll get our next call in. Hello and welcome in. You are on our extra time, overtime. Your time, my time, overtime.
Billy, it's just your time, Tona. Bobby.
What's
I
up,
hope you're
brother?
doing well, sir.
What's up,
I hope
brother?
you had a really good holiday weekend.
You too, my friend.
Thank you. I really did. Got to see Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors. It was bomb, dude. They're so good. You listen to them much, Tony?
Oh, I heard they
kids?
were here. Yeah. Drew Holcomb and his lovely wife. Yep.
Yep, Ellie. She is super talented. They're super talented people. Yep. My golly. And RIP to the original consigliere. Did you see where Robert Duvall died today?
How about that, Bino? Robert Duvall, the original consigliere to the throne. Chucky Mack.
One of my absolute favorite actors of my lifetime.
All time.
Fantastic actor.
All time great.
Really was. And his role as the consigliere, I just blanked on his name in that trilogy, is just as good a work as you'll see by a supporting actor. It's really great.
Was he Chicho, Bino? Who was he in that?
Tom Hagen.
Hagen.
Well, I'm not going to be long-winded. I saw your question of the day is basically, are we spoiled? I'm spoiled, Tony. I admit it. I have to own it because I've been pretty upset in the last couple of weeks with this basketball team. And then I look back to where we were, say, circa the end of the Conzo Martin era / into Donnie Tyndall, and then how all that mess went down. I'm spoiled. I admit it. We've had it pretty good for a little over a decade.
The team's going to win 22 games, and we're totally miserable to the point where I'm like, I don't even know if I want to do a post-game show anymore. And I think Dubsy feels the same way. It's like, screw this. I mean, what's the point? Sit here and listen to people bitch about a win?
I know. And I can be one of those, man.
No, it's the truth. I mean, they drive me crazy. They're going to drive me crazy being a 4 seed.
Yeah, we're going to make a 4. We could touch a 3. I doubt it, but we're going to end up being a 4 seed, and so I just want to own that I'm guilty of it, and I think that it would be good of us to all do that if you are guilty of it, because we've had it pretty good. And then the baseball season being the way it is has been really a fun start. Seeing them just pump homers again, and so fun. And that's a good baseball team. I don't know if they're great, but they're very good. And lastly, Tony, I would like to lay before you and just see what you and Bino think on this. I actually thought the questions registered by the Chancery, I thought that they were actually really good questions in leading that they could not establish a dollar figure for Joey that he would be losing, or a dollar figure for the university that they would be losing. Therefore, they can't go to civil court and sue. So I think he was setting up hey, because we can't establish a number that you can sue for, you just get to come and play football instead. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for the time.
Thank you. Yeah, I just think that people overreact to, the tone of a judge and all that. You go into a courtroom, you're going to get roughed up. Both sides are going to get roughed up. And the attorney for the NCAA, again, is a listener to the show, and I'm going to invite him on at some point. But he's got to feel like the Washington Generals of some of these things. I mean, the guy in the courtroom at Ole Miss was cutting a damn promo on him, and they basically folded their stuff up while the judge was talking and walked out because they had to get to Knoxville. And so it's an opportunity too, Bino, for some of these judges to do to do a political thing up there, kind of show off a little bit.
I think that maybe there was a little bit of just a slight bit of posturing, saying it basically, hey, I know this is our home court here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Tennessee fan, but that's not going to affect this ruling.
Right on. And I'm going to rough you up today. I'm going to make you earn it. Nothing wrong with that. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, guys? Joshy.
Wingzo.
Up, Joshy boy.
On the wings of love.
What up, Bino? Yeah, Bino, we were talking about it earlier this past week. We were talking about if Tennessee was to play like a Miami, Ohio, or St. Louis, what have you, mid-major teams. We both don't think that they would be able to handle us inside. We would be able to out-rebound them in the tournament.
Only way Tennessee could lose to a team like that, Bino, is to go out and shoot 25%, which the Vols are capable of doing that, by the way, in any single game.
Yeah. I mean, and our post players would have to perform, and they have nights when they get it in there close and they don't perform. No. I thought that more about Miami of Ohio than St. Louis. I think just Miami of Ohio. I would be more afraid of St. Louis.
Right. I think Miami of Ohio, their tallest players like just 6'7" or 6'8".
Yeah, they're not very big. They're good. They're good offensively, especially, but they're not very big.
Hey, Tone, Bino, Brian, did you guys catch it over the week? Because I caught it last night. I was watching it on Twitter. Dan Hurley, he was kind of livid in his post-game press conference after they beat Providence over the week. He was calling out his fans, especially the students. He said they didn't show up over the week. He was kind of irritated about that. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
He really should change his name to Surly because he's never happy. That clown is never happy.
Well, with 2 national championships, you could pretty much call out the students, fans, what have you.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You're right.
Yeah. What do you make of that, Tony, about him calling out the fans, especially the students, not showing up?
He's a red ass, and at all these schools, the game is becoming a tournament sport, which is kind of what I'm talking about. I don't even know what the point is in the regular season now for a UConn. That's the deal. You know, that's a concern. Right. That's Joshy boy, you are a Laker fan, right?
Yes.
Do you sit there in the regular season and sweat all those games? Of course you don't. I mean, you'll watch them, and you'll watch them when they're on, but you casually watch them. And I wonder if college hoops becomes that way with the fact that there are so many mediocre to bad teams that can scratch their way into the back of the field.
Yeah.
You know?
Probably same way with you. You don't watch every Phillies game, do you?
Baseball? No, I listen to or I'm around it, unless I'm playing music or something like that or doing something with Laura. But for the most part, baseball is like my constant companion. I love it on the radio more than television. But regular season, like hockey or basketball, I can kind of take that stuff or leave it. And when you're good enough to make the playoffs like the Sixers are, I mean, kind of what's the point? Like, you're already in the playoffs.
Yeah. So here's what I think about basketball. I think we're a good team, not a great team, as we've been the last few seasons. And I think that we should cherish this team because you don't know when it's going to be it for Rick Barnes and we go back to probably an average basketball team for a season or two. So I feel like everyone should be happy with this basketball team because you don't know when they're going to go back to mediocre whenever he retires.
I don't think this program's going back to mediocre, Josh.
I mean, well, you're going to have probably your first down year whenever the new coach takes over.
Yeah.
And I think that Amen, he's a great player, but he's not like a Chaz Lanier or Dalton Connect, like a flashy guy, like a guy who could go out and get you an automatic bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, not at this stage. He's not, Joshy.
So, do we feel good about? I kind of hope we get the 5 seed. I don't want to be a 4 seed because if we get a 4 seed, I'm hearing they could send us out west. If we get a 5 seed, we could possibly be close to home, maybe.
That's interesting. I haven't dug into that. I haven't dug into the ramifications of a 4 versus 5, but I will.
Yeah, you'll have to ask Palm whenever he comes on.
Well, and the 5-12 thing too. The 5-12 thing is interesting because that's kind of a losable game. 4-13s every once in a while that'll happen, but the 5-12 thing is, and then you get in the 6-11 range. That's where the tournament starts getting crazy.
Yeah. Hey, one last question out the door. Bino, did you watch any this week of your Lady Vol softball team? They went undefeated. See ya.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Bino. The Lady Vol softball team, Brian, they're not only beating people, like they went down to Florida, and like Throaty said, they smoked the field. Like Herbie Hancock, joint, cigarette, bun-up, joint, cigarette, bun-up.
They run ruled 2 top 10 teams.
I mean, run ruled them.
In back-to-back days.
And in one game, Carlin Pickens pitched like an inning and a half.
And she's only started, I think, 2 games out of the 10.
It's a total flex job.
She's been brought in relief.
It's a total flex job by them.
Because they've got good pitching depth, and their lineup is just... This has got the 2022 Super Bowls written all over them.
You need to write an article on it, Bri. We need to get out in front of this thing early. Pack the house. Lady Vol softball. Here we come. It's going to be them, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma. Brawl for it all. And we're going to see this year they're going to eliminate. They're going to eliminate Brittany Mahomes and her goofy husband.
I saw some highlights of the games from down there, Tony, especially the game against UCLA when they were just raking in that one inning. And against that field, it kind of reminded me of Michigan earlier this year in basketball, and that field at Las Vegas that was loaded. They were just running through there like they were from another league or another world.
Get that in your report, Bri, for the blog. That's a great angle. That was a harbinger of things to come. Because when you're beating up on, like the Little Sisters of the Poor, whatever, everybody in that sport does that. When you take a Florida State or a UCLA and beat the absolute hell out of them and make them say uncle on national TV. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. And Bino, how are y'all doing today?
Doing great, thanks. And Brian Hartman, too.
Brian's here, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that's good because part of what reason I called up is I need to apologize a little bit about going off on the refs last Tuesday night. It happens once a year. I just have to blow up about it, and then I'm fine for the rest of the year, particularly now that this week is really the start of the run-up to Selection Sunday. This is when we start really kind of looking at the lists, don't you think?
Oh yeah, it gets real now because they start revealing those top 4 top 4 seeds, like in the women's game they did it, and the men will have their reveal, and so you get a sense for what the committee's thinking. Yeah, this is right now is go time in the sport of college basketball from this point on.
So I'm going to think of it as, okay, we're starting from here.
That's a good way of doing it. You might have 3 hours later, you might have come up with something for me. Let's act like it's a brand new season. Maybe tomorrow that'll be our tone.
Selection season.
Yep.
Posturing season.
Yes.
Jockey season.
Yes, jockeying season. I like it. We're leading right into the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah. And along those lines, I want to say something about Rick Barnes. These portions usually of the season have been very much fun for us.
Yep.
Because we've known that we're going to be in it and that we're going to get a pretty decent seed.
Yep.
And last May at the Caravan, I had 3 long coaches' lines to wait through, and I could only choose one. It was Josh Heupel, Rick Barnes, or Kim Caldwell up here in Kingsport. And I chose Rick Barnes because I told him, I said, man, we are truly blessed to have you as our head coach for basketball. You're a great ambassador for our university and our fan base, and I just want you to know here's one guy that appreciates it. I just wanted him to hear that. It was May, it was post everything else in the season. But you don't just get rid of a coach. You get rid of his program and his culture. Or the idea that it's time to move on, that it's, that he just can't reach the pinnacle. I say bull to that. I just so much enjoy these seasons, and I am crushed when we get bounced from the tournament, but I just always thinking, one of these years he's going to break through. And don't know if it'll be this year, but I say let him keep coaching as long as he wants, and then hire one of those hot shots you say's out there looking at it.
Oh, man, he's made this, and he's made another reason to thank him is he's made this, along with Bruce Pearl, those two guys have made this thing an awesome monster basketball job is what Tennessee is now. It's a monster job in that sport.
Look at where we have been.
That's right.
With other coaching searches in basketball.
That's exactly right.
Jokes. Now, football has sort of it's always going to be up there to a degree. But basketball, any basketball program can sink. Look at the Blue Bloods.
Yep.
Anyway, all right, I'll let you.
Thank you, my man. The truth is, though, the thing that a Syracuse, a Georgetown, those Blue Bloodies, the thing they don't have this job has is they got a lot of money behind this job, man. The NIL's huge behind this thing. It's one of the top payrolls in the deal. The resources are incredible. The physical facilities are off the charts. The locale is wonderful. The fan base that comes with it is phenomenal. And 0 Final Four appearances and the chance to be the first guy to do it, a conquering hero.
Having a strong football program that's really has a large following can help too. Make it a better basketball job. Because that's more fans you can tap into. Duke and Syracuse don't have huge number of football fans.
Back to the phones we go. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Jake from Memphis. How you doing, man?
Hey, Jakey, baby.
I appreciate you taking my call, man.
Thank
I know
you,
you're
man. Thanks for being
late
there.
here, probably wanting to get out.
Thanks for being
Sir.
there.
Yes, sir. I wanted to get your thoughts on the ballpark. I'm just caught it from TV perspective, but I was curious to see if you heard the same thing. I might be, hearing things, but I've been watching a lot of baseball, the past 4 or 5 years, and I noticed it pretty quick that when the ball hit the catcher's glove or when the when the bat hit the ball, man, it sounds different in there now.
Yes.
The sound, man, it just carries. It holds it.
Yeah, the acoustics are different in there with the enclosed ballpark. That's a really good point. I noticed that myself Friday night, that acoustically, and the fact that it's now a wall of people going down both lines, it has a bigger league park feel to it. It's really wonderful what they've done to the stadium. It truly is. It's really well done.
I so can't wait till the first big conference series, and that thing's packed out, and I just think the sound is going to be crazy.
If I get you tickets, will you come up? And how many do you need?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, man! I would. Oh, just well, at least for me and my wife, and I got a 4-year-old boy who would love to come if you're able.
I'll get you 4 if you want to bring somebody, and email me commonfan@gmail. Email me. Jake in Memphis, email me.
Yes, sir. Man, thank you so much. That'd be awesome.
It's
I've
our
been wanting
treat.
to catch a game for quite a while.
Yeah, it's our treat. On the house, man.
Man, that means a lot. I've just seen that ballpark grow the way it has, and just me being captured by the sport. I just saw all 3 of those games. I smiled the whole time.
So
awesome,
Jake's backstory for those listening, and I won't put words in Jake's mouth, but Jake's a guy that wasn't even a baseball fan. Tony Vitello introduced a new sport to him, basically. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I didn't play it growing up. Now I so wish I had, just because I'm in love with it now. But no, I didn't play it at all. I thought it was boring. I didn't have a pro team. Growing up in Memphis, we had the Redbirds. Before that, it was the the Royals or something like that. The Chiefs. You might remember, Tony, the minor league before the Redbirds.
I do know the Redbirds. I do know the Redbirds, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but outside of that, I didn't have a lot of reason to follow the sport. And when it was 2021, we had that series sweep over LSU, Drew Gilbert, and I just, I was like, well, I guess I'll give this a shot, because that series, it opened my eyes that, oh man, you can be just as passionate at this sport as you can in football or basketball, as far as the fans getting into it. And then just, man, from there, understanding the downtime of the sport, and because that's what I thought the boring moments were, but it's far from it. You're looking for tendencies at the pitch. I could go on and on, man. I love it. It's a fantastic sport. I can't wait to get
tell your wife you guys are in. You pick whatever game you want to go to. Let me know.
Thank you, Tony. Just to put it where I'm at, and I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but tomorrow, in years past, even in these midweek games, I would watch the basketball game and have the baseball game on the side. Tomorrow, I'm going to be watching the baseball game, and I'll have the basketball game on the side. Basketball is I'm full in baseball mode, man. Basketball is what it is. They're not very fun to watch. I'll have it on. I'll root for them, but man, this baseball team's so exciting. I can't take my eyes off of them. But
wow,
Tony, I appreciate the time, and I'll shoot you an email. But man, I hope you have a great week.
Please do. You're in. Bino, Jeff Henderson, and Bry, thanks, guys. The Memphis Chicks is who he was searching for. Bino, true or false? I'm going to name a player. You tell me if they played with the Memphis Chicks. You ready?
Yes.
Ellis Valentine.
I know for a long time that Expos were the affiliate, so I'm going to say yes.
Yes. Tim Raines.
Yes.
Bo Jackson.
I'll say no.
Bo Jackson played there in 1986.
Wow.
Played 53 games for the Chicks after being drafted by the Royals. 53 scintillating games. Tim Wallach, 5-time Major League Baseball All-Star Beanstar.
Yes. Yes.
Tito, Terry Francona.
Yes.
Frank Thomas, who we talked about last week, who Griff struck out. Yes or no?
based on the affiliations there, I would say that no, he didn't play for the Memphis
Correct.
Chicks. But
No. Yep. Jeff Conine, Bino.
I'll say no.
Jeff Conine played for the team in the early 90s and was an MVP for the 90 team before he went on for the first couple of Florida Marlin teams. He was really good there, right? Conine the Barbarian?
Yes, he was.
Other notables include Razor Shines. Do you remember Razor Shines, Bino? Played from 81 to 83.
The name Razor Shines.
Yep.
I remember the name. I don't remember anything about the player.
He was cool. See that? 43 years before there was a Heupel's Razor, there was a Razor Shines. Charlie Lee, Gary Thurman, Michael Tucker, Harvey Pulliam, and Les Norman, all players. And Bino, in my junking, I found a correspondence from the late, great former Philadelphia A's manager and also Pittsburgh Pirates manager Bill Meyer that I'm acquiring, Bino, in my junking around. Did you know that Bill Meyer was a Philadelphia A? Were you aware of that?
I wasn't aware of exactly what organizations Bill Meyer was a part of.
Mm-hmm.
That the former Smoky Stadium was named after.
That's correct. Yep. I had no idea that, he was kind of Knoxville's own, but he was a fixture in Major League Baseball. So, you're good people. Bino, I love you. W. Lynn's Breath, Bino, wants to know, did the Memphis Chicks have any Puerto Ricans on their team on the way out?
I believe Willie Stargell played there.
What did you think of me having Willie Stargell from Puerto Rico when he grew up in Oklahoma?
Tony, I have learned throughout these years.
Yes.
Not to say, Tony, he was not Puerto Rican. I prefer to say I didn't realize he was Puerto Rican, and then I know you.
But you guys told me Clemente was Dominican, and I knew he was. I knew one of those guys was Puerto Rican.
I told you, Tony. I cannot tell you who's from Dominican Republic, who's from Puerto Rico, who's from Venezuela. I don't know any of that. I never can keep that straight in my mind. But I knew Willie Stargell was not.
Real Mr. Tubbs on the way out. Shout out to the everybody's favorite Puerto Rican Memphis Chick, Mel Stottlemyre.
Former Yankee pitcher and pitching coach.
And we will end it right there. Arriba! Mel Stottlemyre. Arriba! Peace. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why this show is totted. We crazy. And I love when inside jokes like that become a part of the lore.
That's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, a couple days past. I came on. By the way, this starts like 20 minutes into the deal because I'm running it back off the YouTube till we get it uploaded. So have fun. And it's just been gnawing at me all weekend. Are we doing too much post game? You know?
You get a cumulative effect too, Tony. You're at the end of a long slog here of service.